It's the Tour
Cheers.
Junkies. We're talking betting,
Cheers.
talking some gambling. If you want to do some gambling, do a gamble. You're in the right place. This is the 2021 Shriners Children's Open. We've eliminated the hospitals for, so this is only a 3-word tournament name, which I'm grateful for. Shriners Children's Open 2021. I'm DB. Pat Perry's there yawning in the camera. Thanks for
I didn't
listening.
mean to yawn. Sometimes you don't know when a yawn is going to happen.
Okay.
You
Pat's
know,
here.
yawns are contagious.
Yeah, I think I've heard that before. Thanks.
Yeah.
Listen, presented as always by our friends at fantasynational.com/TJ, the one-stop shop where you need to go if you're betting on golf in any capacity. You need to go to fantasynational.com/TJ and save 20% off any membership level over there. That means you can get a weekly membership for like $8. You can try it out. You can get used to it. Give it a fair shot, though. There's a little bit of a learning curve. There's a lot of data there. All of it's licensed to Fantasy National by the PGA Tour, so you know it's good. You know it's clean data. We've been using them for forever, okay? If you're not already using them, you're stupid. I'm just going to go ahead and call you that. You're an idiot. If you're trying to win money in DFS or betting on golf, you're an idiot if you're not already using Fantasy National. Or maybe one exception to that, you could be super intelligent and have your own, you probably have your own modeling and data stuff you've already got it built because you're extra smart. You, sir, are not an idiot. And thank you, or ma'am, and thank you for listening to the Tour Junkies podcast presented by Fantasy National. So check that out. Pat, I've got my podcast juice tonight. It's none other than Wild Leap vodka and a little bit of.
I got a Wild Lake beer
You got a
tonight.
beer in there?
Yeah,
You
little
still
brewed.
sticking with the beer? Okay.
Mhm.
Our friends at Wild Leap over there in LaGrange, Georgia. Check them out. Look for them in your grocery store. It's great stuff. We appreciate Wild Leap. Pat, we're gonna have a good show tonight. We just wrapped up the DFS show. That was a good time. A couple things before I want to get into the topic of Sam Burns. And obviously, we're going to give our outright, some top 20s, some let them hang predictions. Going to have a good time. But if you have not gone to the Tour Junkies YouTube page and looked at Pat's fantasy golf sommelier video from last week,
It's so good.
Even if you don't play fantasy golf, even if you don't like Pat, you need to go check it out. It's last week's video for the Sanderson Farms. Even though that tournament's over, it's a 5.5-minute video, and it's the best 5.5 minutes of fantasy golf sommelier in years. Okay, Pat did something I didn't see coming, didn't think he was going to do, and not enough people have watched it. People need to go watch it. What Pat did with his bottle of champagne.
Yes, it's upsetting that not, because I'll do the FGS, the Fantasy Golf Sommelier, and I'll just kind of fly by the seat of my pants and throw one out there, and like way more people will watch it. Yeah, and then this one, I put a little bit of thought into. I'm even wearing an outfit that I think is quite incredible, and
Yeah, it is.
not enough. Like half the people watch it. Like you got to go out. You just come on, just go check it out.
It was so good that people in the Nut Hut took it. Crazy Marcus took a screenshot of a great moment there in the Fantasy Golf Sommelier, and they had a screenshot caption contest where the winner won a nice prize, and I think it was Tripka. Tripka in the Nut Hut won for the best comment. Great stuff. You got to go look at it. While you're there, the Luke List interview has been posted in our YouTube channel as well as on our podcast feed from last week. If you've not listened to that, it was a fantastic interview. Luke got very candid with us on Bryson, on Patrick Cantlay. If you're a bettor or a DFS player, Luke basically gave you 2 tournaments where he is ready to win at the drop of a hat, and they're coming up early in the year next year. So pay attention to that. But Luke was extremely candid, super fun interview. You got to go check that out. It's like one of the best interviews, top, front to back, I think we've ever done. Yeah. It was a good one. So go listen to that. Go watch it, whatever you want to do. It's good stuff. If you watch it, give it a thumbs up. Give it a comment. Tell us your favorite part about it. That'd be nice. And then, of course, our buddy Mark Hill, who we announced last week, our new European Tour expert, dropped his first video and podcast last week for the Alfred Dunhill. It was a great video. I cashed in my European Tour DFS lineup, only listening to Mark and not having a clue who the crap I was picking. So that was good. And Mark's great. He's got 10 plus years working in the betting industry for his full-time gig. Now he's partnered up with us to do a show every week. There's a European Tour event. You can catch Mark Hill on our YouTube channel or on our podcast feed. I think the one for the España Open, which is Spanish Open, Pat. That one drops late tomorrow. You're going to want to get his breakdown on that. And he's very active in the Nut Hut, gives you a lot of good data on the Nut Hut. There was a lot of discussion last week about tee time advantages and waves and all that stuff, which you tend to get over there on the European Tour a little more so than you do on the PGA Tour. So check that out with Mark Hill. Be on the lookout for that. Pat, before we get into the golf course, the odds history of this event, the sports book approach, the outrights we like, the top 20s, the let 'em hangs. I think first of all, people need to know that they gotta be. Well, I mean, what are you doing if you're not subscribed to our email list? Our email list is free and it's effing awesome. It's F and FA. Free and effing awesome. You get an email on Tuesday called Heavy Petting, and it's got the bullet points you need to know about the golf course, right? It's got Ben Little's 10 key stats and the top 10 names in every stat category. That used to be on the website. Now it's exclusively on the Heavy Petting email. And then for the whole fall season, at the bottom, I'm giving you 2 Korn Ferry Tour graduates who are now PGA Tour rookies, and I'm telling you all about them, what kind of player they are, what you need to know about them so you can get familiar with these guys while they're still long shots, while they're still, cheap plays on DraftKings, all that stuff. And then on Wednesday, you get the chalk bomb with the final weather thoughts, your final tee time thoughts, if there's any advantage. Great head-to-head betting matchup analysis for DFS and betting. That was nails last week, by the way, if you're paying attention. Of course, we give you the chalk bomb if you're playing DFS. And then we throw in some laughs with Pontificate with Pat at the bottom. Those are 2 free emails every Tuesday, every Wednesday, 1 subscription. Go to tourjunkies.com/chalkbomb and subscribe today, or go to tourjunkies.com and scroll to the bottom right of any webpage and subscribe. I don't know why you would not do that. That's another 2 free pieces of content to make you a better. Okay, so do that. Pat, Sam Burns.
Hey, it's great.
Sam Burns is pretty freaking good. He just stepped up and killed everybody on Sunday. He just took it by the balls. You know what I mean? He just what was that movie? Was it Friday After Next or Next Friday? Which one was it? Where Cat Williams was saying, "Damon, I am a boy." You remember that? And he had the vice grips and he said, "These vice grips on your nuts." You remember when he said that? I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember.
Great movie. Great movie. But basically, Sam Burns told the field, I got vice grips on your nuts, daddy. And he just ran away with it. Here's the thing I want to ask. Sam Burns is obviously a killer. Now, Pat, you're texting again. What are you doing?
Go ahead.
Pimp in distress. Pimp in distress. Spaz Bite knows what I'm talking about. Okay, what?
Nothing. My son is texting me that he's being harassed.
Okay.
By the animals in their house. I thought at first it was going to be like friends of his because he's a teenager. And then he's like, the animals are harassing him. Okay. And now I'm like, okay, shut up.
Okay.
Go to bed.
Let's talk about Sam Burns. I want to talk about the future of these young studs on the PGA Tour and who's going to be the first one to get to close the door on a major. The next major we're going to get is the Masters in April. And I guess I'm talking about the young guys that have not already won one, right? So the first one to not win. And I don't really want to get into the young. They're still young, but they're not the new young, like Patrick Cantlay. He's young, but he ain't new young. I'm talking about new young guys. I'd say like let's start with Victor Hovland, who's 14th in the world right now. Sam Burns, who's now 18th in the world. Scotty Scheffler, 22nd. Let's see. Sung Jae, I guess you could throw in there, 29th. Joaquin Niemann, 30. Willie Z, Will Zalatoris, 31 in the world. Let's see. Any other names in there? Maybe Matt Wolff, who's now, played all right last week, 47th in the world. Who do we think out of these guys? Like, who do you see getting it done in the majors first out of those names?
I think I still think Victor Hovland. I mean, if you look at just the Ryder Cup, and I mean, not that that's like a sole factor in how you can judge how somebody plays or whatever, but Victor was a scary player in that tournament, like in that event.
Mhm.
I mean, like he did so like he was so nails in just everything he did. So I love Victor Hovland. I think he is definitely going to win some majors. Scheffler, I don't know. I still am not sold on Scheffler actually winning tournaments because
Oh, I am.
we haven't seen him yet. We haven't seen him do that, and I love
That's true.
Scheffler. I
I
think
mean,
he's
but
a
yeah, but what have we seen Victor won other than the freaking what was that little event he won, that off turn
something like
alternate field event?
Puerto Rico or
Yeah.
something, and then another one. He won another one too. He's won 2
Oh, he did.
events.
Yeah, he did win another. Yeah, you're right. He won a good one.
So I mean, but Burns, I mean, that guy is just
He won the OHL Classic,
yeah, whatever. Still, he's won twice.
and he won the
Um,
Puerto Rico Open.
so I do like. I think Victor for me. I'm just gonna go Victor.
I don't think it's Victor, and I think the thing that's gonna hold him back is still the putting. Because you got to putt to win majors, and the problem is his he loses strokes on every single putting surface. Like it'd be one thing if he was really good on one surface and kind of dog on a couple others. Like Burns is not an elite putter, but he gains strokes on every surface, and he's really good on Bermuda. Willie Z is improving. Like if you look at the rolling report on Fantasy National for Willie Z, which shows you on a single stat how they're progressing from the last 100 rounds to the last 4. 100 rounds ago, which I guess they don't even have 100 measured rounds. 50 rounds ago, he was 93rd in strokes gained putting total on the PGA Tour. Then the last 24 rounds moves that to 69th. Recently, 12 in the last 12 rounds, he's 29th. Like he's progressing a little bit. I think he's found some magic with the putter. Currently gains strokes on POA, loses it on Bent and Bermuda, but not by much on Bermuda. I think Willie Z and Sam Burns and Scotty Scheffler, I actually may rank Hovland last.
How? How can you do that?
Because I think he lacks the total package until that putter is not a problem. Now Scheffler's also very bad with the flat stick. I'm looking at it now. I didn't really realize how bad he is with the putter. He's like Hovland. He loses strokes in every category. So I guess maybe due to that, I might actually put Hovland above him. But he's been so close in majors. I mean, 8th at the Open, 8th at the PGA. He's been so close. 4th at the PGA in 2020. He's just, he's been close in majors. I feel like he's a big game hunter. A little more so than maybe Victor is right now. So I don't know. I think
I just feel like all the guys, and maybe I'm just too into the Ryder Cup lately and what we saw there, but of all the people that like watching those matchups, Hovland, other than Rahm, scared me the most. Like he was the one player where I was like,
well, yeah, because Europe had nobody.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, but they're still going against a pretty good team in the U.S. So, like, he was the guy that I was like, he could win every single matchup, and it might not even be close.
Well, I think our boy Kistler, who normally is in the chat saying ridiculous things, has a point. Who was it that handed Rahm his ass on a platter?
Yeah,
Scotty Scheffler.
Jeff got him at a good time. I thought I would have said this if we had a podcast on Saturday before the Sunday finals of the Ryder Cup, that I would have thought that Scheffler would have won that, because I think Rahm had done so well leading up to that final day. There was a chance for a letdown. It's just like anything, like football, golf, just the same thing happens. Like not everybody has all of their best stuff every single day. Like he was primed to be taken down that day.
I just don't know how you take Victor Hovland's Ryder Cup performance and make that greater than Scotty Scheffler's Ryder Cup performance as a part of your argument.
I never said
it wasn't better.
When did I say that?
You were talking about how you thought he was going to go 4-0 and he was the stud and he was like so scary. How he wasn't scarier than Scotty Scheffler.
What?
You just
When did I say that? I didn't say he was going to go 4-0. When did I say that?
You said
check the tape. Somebody roll back the tape. Did I say Hovland was going to go 4-0?
Yes, you said you thought he had the potential to go 4-0 or 5-0 or whatever. You said something like that.
What are you listening to?
Maybe I don't know.
What is wrong with my headphones? I never said that.
I don't know. I get that Hovland's won on the tour and Scheffler hasn't.
I just think
But
Hovland's a more talented golf. He's not a more talented golfer than Scheffler. Goffler. He's not a
yeah,
more.
more talented like Goffler.
I just don't. I think.
So
I
where do
think.
you rank Burns? Where do you rank Burns and Zalatoris out of those four? Like, give me the four. Give me the top four. I think I actually go Burns. I think I go Burns, Scheffler, Willie Z, and Hovland. I mean, it is what it is. It's my opinion, Doc.
No way.
All right, then you rank them.
Okay. I'll go Hovland, Scheffler, Burns, Zalatoris.
Okay, we're gonna have a bet here.
Because
well, okay,
this is very early
said
in
Burns,
all of these guys' careers, and
Chef. We both have Scheffler second.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Zalatoris hasn't won yet.
How about? I know.
Neither has Scheffler.
I ranked him third. I ranked Willie Z third. If we both rank Scheffler second. So our debate here is Victor versus like Burns. Our debate is really where we rank Victor. You have him ranked first. I have him ranked last out of the four. What if we do?
If you're going into a major championship and you're betting, you're gonna bet Sam Burns over Victor Hovland. When Sam Burns' wins are great, and I get it.
Much better than Hovland's. And he actually gained strokes.
How are they much better than Hovland's?
I think they're tougher tournaments. The OHL and the Puerto Rico. Give me a break. Are you kidding me? I know the Sanderson is not like
Sanderson Farms.
It's stronger than either one of those fields. I think he won the Valspar. Like, it's not terrible.
I feel like Sam Burns is like a career, like going to win some PGA Tour events, but he's not going to win a major.
He may not. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to win a major.
I think Hovland wins majors.
None of these guys may ever win a major.
I think Hovland will win a major. Yes.
All right. How about we do this? If one of these guys wins a major in an indefinite term, if we hit him first, whoever hits him first, the other person has to shave their head.
No.
Why not?
No, because shaving your head is easy. Like you could shave your head and it look the same as it does today.
What? What?
Yeah, I've seen your head though mostly shaved.
No, I never shaved it. I cut it close on the sides. I never shaved the top.
I'm not doing that one. No.
Then what would a proper punishment be? That's a major championship bet that I think requires a major championship punishment.
I'm not shaving my head. No way.
Okay, put in the comments what you think the punishment should be, because I think it needs to be legitimate. We need everybody to comment. We need everybody to like and subscribe on YouTube. We need them. Okay, there's not enough people watching us on YouTube. Maybe we suck. Maybe that's the answer. But if you're watching us, you must like us. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe, comment on what the punishment should be on which one of these four guys. These four guys seem to be the four young up and comers, right? Who do you think is going to be? Maybe it's a new Korn Ferry Tour grad that you think is the guy. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening strictly, then leave us a 5-star review and tell us in those comments who you think is going to be. All right, Pat. Moving on.
Okay.
Well, I've got the names written down, the order written down, so we'll figure out the punishment and update the people. We got the full course breakdown, everything you need to know about TPC Summerlin, which is a course we've come to a lot, right? All that's on the DFS show if you want to listen to it. But Pat, give us just the basics, the essentials, what we need to know about TPC Summerlin.
Essentials here: par 71, just over 7,200 yards. 144 players this week. T65 and ties will make the cut. A lot of scoring. We're going to see a ton of scoring this week. So birdie or better percentage, opportunities gained. If you're looking at grass surfaces, you got Bermuda grass tee to green, bent grass greens that are pretty tricky. And there is a lot of speed here on these greens. So that's something you want to look at. I do think driving accuracy is key. You'll see a lot of the longer hitters kind of dial it back a little bit and hit irons off the tee. This is a position golf course. So And I don't just mean position into the greens, which I think is important, but position off the tee as well. That is important also. So, and we've seen, a lot of your shorter hitters win here. Martin Laird last year, Kevin Na, Bryson won in 2018, but that was like beefed up Bryson. And we see a lot of guys that kind of dial it back off the tee. Patrick Cantlay won here in 2017. Rod Pampling in 2016. And then this is where Smiley Kaufman just rocked the world.
Yeah.
And became such a famous person in 2015 and won here. So there you go.
So long ago. Yep. Going to be an easy course. Martin Laird won at 225 to 1. Kevin Na was at 70 to 1. Bryson was 14 to 1. Cantlay 20 to 1. Pampling 300. Kaufman 250. Ben Martin in 2014 225 to 1.
Ben Martin.
We got some triple digits in there. Bryson and Cantlay kind of jacked up the party in recent history, being the shorter numbers. I don't know. I think this is going to be kind of that mid-range to long range kind of year. You don't have the Brysons, the Cantlays. You don't have those guys here. I mean, Brooks is here, but we'll talk about him in a minute. But yeah, this is anybody's game here. Plenty of player data and quotes about not having to be long, being a precision place, hitting a lot of wedges, making a ton of putts. These are big greens. A lot of guys are going to hit greens in reg at a high clip here. Then it's a matter of making the putts. We did talk about this on the DFS show. I don't think we need to go into it ad nauseum, Pat, but you brought up that there is a narrative in Vegas. I think I said Strokes lost motorboating a lot, which is just like there's trouble to be had in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the DFS show, it seems like my head was going straight to the strippers and escorts and girls. You were reminding me that there are other things that you can get in trouble with in Vegas.
Yeah,
So
lots of sinning opportunities.
Lots of sinful, lots of vices. And I mentioned that for those of you who think that the narrative is stupid, I challenge you to look at the top player in strokes gained total at TPC Summerlin over the last 5 years, and his name is Webb Simpson. Christian, family man, 70 kids, very pure. Give me one more.
Boring.
Webb Simpson. Number 2 on the list, Lucas Glover. You know what he has?
An ankle bracelet that tells his wife whatever he does.
Yes. Spousal ankle strap house arrest. Yes. So the narrative checks out. We've run the data. We've run the simulations. We've done all the correlations, and we've done we did the data, and it all checks out. So basically, you got to be careful of that when you're making your selections. I think that's something to think about in Las Vegas. So let's talk about the favorites, Pat. Up to 25 to 1. Now, you got a little confused on this last week, buddy, but it's the same format we do every week.
Yeah,
let's go. Up to 25 to 1. So don't give me any names longer than 25 to 1 here, Pat. I'm gonna let you start.
Okay, I got a couple guys in here I like, and one we've argued about already, and I didn't think there should be an argument. But Scotty Scheffler is at 22 to 1. I think Scheffler at 22 to 1. I didn't mention him at all on the DFS show, but I do like him this week at that number at 22 to 1. And then another guy,
he is married, by the way.
Yeah. Another guy right at that same number is Abraham Answer, also at 22 to 1. Now, can I mention a 25 to 1 guy? Did you? Or is that too high?
Yes, you can. Up to 25 to 1.
Okay, 25 to 1. Willie Z at 25 to 1. I like him also. So those three guys, Chef, Answer, and Willie Z at 25 to 1.
Okay, I'm shocked you said Scheffler. So you would rather have Scheffler over Webb at 22 to 1?
Yeah,
Webb is also 22 to 1.
Absolutely. Yep.
Why?
Scheffler. I don't know.
I think on PointsBet, you can get better numbers with those guys on PointsBet.
I think coming off of what we saw at the Ryder Cup for Scheffler, I think he gained a lot of confidence. This could be a week that he wins. I mean, we see a lot of guys in the fall win for the first time.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I think Scheffler that could happen for him this week. I love Webb. I mean, I don't mind Webb at all. But I just think I mean, there's value in both of those plays, but
Clearly at PointsBet, there's value at 22-1. I mean, Webb is shorter on DraftKings. Webb is 18-1. Scheffler's 22-1. But if they're both 22-1 on PointsBet, I will take Webb all day long on that. I think there's tremendous value there. With his record here, it fits his game to a T. He played the Fortinet, finished T30, got the rust off after the BMW a month or so prior. I think Webb is the play at 22-1 for me. I love the Willie Z play at 25-1. I mean, he's playing really, really well right now, obviously. The injury looks to be behind him. T11 at the Fortinet, T14 at the Sanderson. The putting has really come around, especially when you look back at that rolling report that I mentioned. That's good to see because you're going to have to make a lot of putts here to make a lot of birdies to win this thing at like 20 billion under. So Willie Z at 25-1 is interesting. Now, a guy we didn't talk about on the DFS show, or very little, is Kevin Na. But Kevin Na at 25-1, I'll take it. Like, I think, and that's on let's see, that's on PointsBet and DraftKings. He's 25-1 on both of those. I mean, what do you think about that? What do you think about Kevin Na here?
I don't mind Kevin Na. I
mean, the end of his year, second at the Wyndham, lost to Kiz, 8th at the Northern Trust, 17th at the BMW, 3rd at the Tour Championship. He shook the rust off at the Fortinet, missed the cut, whatever. Now he's in his backyard at a tournament he's won before, at a tournament he loves, that suits his game very, very well. He's got win equity. We know that about Kevin Na. He wins almost every season. Like, 25-1. Like, if you're going to do it, do it,
Yeah, whatever. Kevin Na.
It's always scary. Kevin Na is always scary, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The stay away play for me here, and I think we would both agree on this, is Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, absolutely.
As the tournament favorite. And not just because he's a tournament favorite, but because he's Brooks Koepka, and we all know he's here to take photos with Jenna and do their thing around Vegas. This is more her week. I guarantee you he committed to this place for her more so than he did for him. I mean, he's going to have a great time. Like, Brooks has a great time wherever he goes, which I love that about him. I love that he's going to enjoy himself. But at 16-1 or whatever it is on DraftKings, he's actually 20-1 on PointsBet if you want to bet him.
They were looking at the schedule, and like, she's like never speaks up because she's like, okay, well, that one I know Brooks wants to do that one. I know Brooks wants to do this one, but no, Vegas.
I think she does speak up.
We're going to Vegas, and I've got all kinds of outfits for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All these outfits.
I got these new shoes I've been dying to wear. Yeah, that's for sure. Also, Kistler brings up a good point in the chat. Nas the Asian Webb, boring family.
He really is. He really is.
Here's a fact. Kevin Na had Kenny G at his wedding. Like, if a guy who had Kenny G play at his wedding is not picture perfect for this place, then I don't know who is. So I think Kevin Na's in play. I normally don't have 3 picks in this range, but I actually do. All right, let's get down to kind of that mid-range, over 25-1, up to 75-1, Pat. I see you're again texting. Up to 75-1.
Okay.
Pat.
I got a couple plays in here.
Okay.
3 plays.
3 plays. I got a lot of them in here. I can't really narrow them down a little bit. Why don't you start, and then maybe I'll make a different play.
All right. Well, there's one guy in here that I think if you can get him on the right books, I'm very surprised at where he is because I'm looking at PointsBet right now. But Louis Oosthuizen is at 30-1 on PointsBet, and he is much shorter on some other.
18-1 on DraftKings.
Yes. So
that's
if you can get some Uzi there with that kind of value at 30-1, I don't know, but I just like the value. I don't know if he can win. I like the value.
Yeah,
and, if you want to play him and do a top 5 or something like that, because he may not win, but he finishes second or third, plus 350, well, 3.5-1. Okay, if you like that kind of stuff, you can do that. Another guy that I like is Matthew Wolff at 50-1. I think that's a good number here for him. He's finished well here in the past, top 5 last year. Wolff is a good play there at 50-1. Another guy that I don't like in DFS, and I just don't know what he's going to do this week, but I have a hard time not betting Brian Harman at 70-1 accuracy guy off the tee, good ball striker. Typically I think this is a good course fit for him. We've seen him play well here in the past. So it's 70-1. I like Brian Harmon. I like him at that number. So there you go. Usti, Wolf, and Harmon.
I don't mind the value on Usti at 30-1. If it goes 25-1 or less, I'd rather have Willie Z, Kevin Na, Webb Simpson.
I hear you.
If you can't get the 31. On Wolf, did you have him at 50-1?
I had him at 50-1.
He's 50-1 on PointsBet. I like that on PointsBet. He's better on PointsBet. I don't mind that. I don't love the Harmon play. I actually like him better in DFS. I had him written down, but I didn't mention him. He's just one name out of like a dozen in the 7K range in DFS I like. Because this is a course fit for Brian Harmon. You're right. I think what's going to turn people off is the form. All of a sudden, we saw Brian Harmon's form just tank. And, coming off a break, you kind of don't know what kind of form these guys are in. So I actually like him better in DFS because I think the ownership's going to be down because of that. I don't know if he's going to jump out and win, but it is a good spot for him. I like a lot of names in here, actually. This is a range that I'm going to have a lot of because I actually only have one name in the next range. So forgive me as I go overboard here. I like two guys at 45-1. That would be Siwoo Kim and Cameron Tringali. I mean, Siwoo's come out and finished 11th at the Fortinet, 8th last week at the Sanderson. He's got a great record at the Shriners. He's aggressive. He makes a ton of birdies. He's got a girlfriend. So I think she looks like a sweet girl. So she's keeping him on the, even keel in Vegas. Love Siwoo at 45-1. There's win equity there. And I mean, Cameron Tringali, I told myself on Saturday night, because Cameron Tringali was a name that it was like one of the last names I scratched off my betting card last week, Pat. And on Saturday night when he was up there, I was like, gosh dang it, I'm going to miss Tringali's first win. And it pissed me off because you can see it coming. Like, the form is as good as it's ever been. The putting is incredible. The ball striking is there. He just had a few bad decisions and squirrely shots on Sunday. But, he's trending so good right now.
He really is.
45
all year he's been trending.
All year.
Just like.
All year. 45-1 on PointsBet for Tringali. I love Matt McNeely at 60-1. He's got Vegas ties, Vegas connection. I had him on the betting card for the Fortinet where he coughed it up on Sunday and had a chance at 45-1. I think there. His odds are a little longer here in this event, but he's got ties here. Good putter, good ball striker. Matt McNeely at 60-1. Here's a name we did not talk about in DFS. This is my last one in this range, but a name I think is sneaky in both DFS, and I think you're getting a good value here as well. A really, really good putter, who I think has some win equity. Mark Leishman.
I don't mind that.
You don't mind that. 66-1 on PointsBet. The irons have been solid. He finished 4th at the Fortinet. 4th. And I think I actually faded him at the Fortinet, but finished 4th. Leishman's in play at 66-1. I think for a guy like him who, he can close the door here. Now, he's actually never played TPC Summerlin, but I don't think that's a big deal. Great putter. 66-1. There you go. In the next range, which is up to 125-1, I actually only have one name, Pat. And it's because if you compare prices between DraftKings and PointsBet, this is where the names that I like are better values on PointsBet on DraftKings, and it takes them over the 125 range. So there was only one name that I found in here up to 125-1 that I want to bet on outright, and it's actually a rookie on the PGA Tour. I know, it's kind of crazy. His name's Taylor Moore at 125-1. If you don't know about Taylor Moore, he's a stud, finished 4th in the order of merit on the Korn Ferry Tour, had 11 top 10s, a win last year on the Korn Ferry Tour. Good total driver, hits it over 300 average, but hits a ton of fairways, top 25 in driving accuracy on Korn Ferry Tour last year, and 10th in greens and reg. Made a ton of birdies on the Korn Ferry Tour, which you have to do. That's how you finish number 4 in order of merit. And he's actually a pretty solid putter, just kind of a middle of the road, solid. He's not going to be amazing with the putter, but he's solid. And he finished T17 at the Sanderson Farms. He's 125-1, a winner on the Korn Ferry Tour just back in July, and then finished that up with a runner-up at the next event. Like, Taylor Moore's a stud, and he gained strokes in every single category last week at the Sanderson. So if you talk about somebody coming out of nowhere that you're like, geez, who? I think it could be a Taylor Moore at 125 to 1.
Okay. I got a couple in here that I like. One is Taylor Gooch. He is at 80 to 1. I think that's a good number for him. I mentioned him on the DFS show.
Did we ever
Also,
find out why he withdrew last week? Anybody find that out?
yeah, I mean, if you do know, let
Share
us
in the
know.
chat. Why did Taylor Gooch withdraw last
Yeah.
week?
Another one is Henrik Norlander at
Yeah.
125 to 1.
Well,
I mean,
yep, he's 130 on DraftKings. He's in my
oh,
next tier. That's why I put him.
okay. Well,
But
then
I love that play.
okay. Well, I had him at 125. I didn't see the 130, so we could put him in either category. But I do like him there.
He's
Also.
actually, I got to say this about Norlander because he's known as a terrible putter, incredible ball striker, right? He's gained strokes putting in 4 of his last 5 tournaments, including last week, gained 2.1. And when he does that, he's trouble. He gained 8.4 strokes on approach last week. 8. Norlander could do it, man.
Yeah.
Do it for Champions Retreat.
All right. And that's it for that range for me.
Okay. Bombs over 125 to 1. Obviously, Norlander you can get at 130 to 1. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, on DraftKings. How did you miss that? You were looking at points bet only or something? What are you doing?
I mean, it's hard when you're looking at 2 books. You don't you don't see everything. It's not like I have like a beautiful mind that can see like all these.
Oh, I think you do.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short, Pat. All right. Bombs over 125 to 1. I'll let you go first.
All right. Well, I've got a couple in here that I like. One going pretty long shot here at 250 to 1.
Ooh.
Is Sam Ryder. Sam Ryder is 250 to 1. We've seen him play well recently, played well last week, is a guy that makes a ton of birdies. I think this could be a week for him. You never know.
Got a T3 here in the past.
Yeah. So I like him there. Another guy that I like at 200 to 1 is Hank Lebioda.
Okay.
We've seen him almost win several weeks in a row a few weeks ago, and then, now it's turned into months. But the guy has played well this year, so I do like Hank Lebioda. Been putting a lot better than he used to. I think that's it for me. I'm going a real long shot in this category.
Wow.
So, yep.
Wow. 200 and 250 to 1, huh?
Yeah.
I'll give you 3 more in addition to the Norlander play. And for me, there are 3 guys we already talked about pretty extensively in the DFS show. Stefan Jaeger, who's a winner. If you I think, the winningest guy on the Korn Ferry Tour. This is his 3rd trip around the sun on the PGA Tour. It's not outside the realm of possibility for him to win a golf tournament on the PGA Tour. Like, he can close the door. He's a closer. He can get it done. I don't think he's going to be scared of this place. He's got a top 20 here in the past. He's an accurate player. Makes a ton of birdies. Just good all-around game for Jaeger. So 130 to 1, I like that. And then a couple more guys at 150 to 1. I like Pat Perez, your Vegas. I mean, this guy loves the Shriners, loves TPC Summerlin, has some great results here. Also a solid putter, decent flashes of form here in recent weeks. He's 150 to 1 on points bet. You can get a better number on him. And then Troy Merritt. Troy Merritt, I think, finished.
Yeah, I love Troy. Love Troy.
Yeah, top 20 at the Fortinet. I think 27th last week at the Alfred Dunhill. So coming in good form. And Merritt is a guy who's found himself in final groups before, contended. And this is a spot for him where his little Dinkin Duncan's putting self can do things, can do some damage. So I think this is an interesting spot, a course fit place for Troy Merritt. The Amish Merritt is.
Let me give one more.
Didn't we have
one more?
Hold on. Didn't we have a? Oh yeah, Amish Mafia. There he is. There he is on YouTube. He looks like an Amish man. Anyway, yes, go.
All right. So I don't have all the numbers here, but this guy just intrigues me a little bit because he's been out a ton with injuries and on injury leave and whatever else, but he is a winner on tour. Old Dirt McGirt.
No, you can't bet him outright. No.
William McGirt. I am not betting him
Okay,
outright.
thank God. Thank God.
He's 400 to 1 outright. He did finish T17 last week at Sanderson Farms. I think this is another good fit for him, this course. So if you can get him at like a top 20 number that's somewhere around like 15 to 1, something like that, which is what I'm guessing it would be. I think that's a good number. I think anywhere between 15 to 20 to 1 for Dirt McGirt to finish top 20 here is a good number.
Wow.
So there you go.
I did not see.
That is not even my let him hang play. That's not even my let him hang play.
Oh, I mean, Pat Perry, a man of surprises. Let me see what is his top 20 number, because I don't
see if you can find his top 20 number.
It's not. I don't think it's actually as high as you think it is, because I don't see him. They may be onto you, Pat. You know, they may be on. Oh my God, Pat, he's 8 to 1.
Oh, see, there's some big differences there.
He's 8 to 1.
That's like right there with. I mean,
he's in there with Doug Gim and Matt Wallace and Aaron Rye, James Hunt,
but he's like
Poston.
low 6,000s in the. I mean,
yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. I got some top 20s. I think there's a slew of guys at plus 550 on DraftKings that are all flash in form, and they're all good course fits in terms of accurate, precision players that can putt. And there's a group of them: Adam Schenk, Mick Wadney, who's a Vegas guy who we just saw almost win the tournament, who's a great putter and Vegas guy; Denny McCarthy, your boy, great putter, just played well; Peter Malnati, great putter, just played well; Dinkin Dunker, and Troy Merritt, all plus 550 for a top 20. I like, picking those guys in good form and a good course fit there. You mentioned Norlander. He's plus 450. I wrote him down. Pat Perez is 4 to 1. And Luke List is also 4 to 1. Pat, what do you think of Luke List this week? Because he won a lot of people a lot of money last week.
For top 20, I like it. I'm okay with that. For here's a few other ones that I like for top 20s. I like Jaeger. Stefan Jaeger, as you like to say, at plus 450.
Oh,
I like Denny McCarthy at plus 550.
I just mentioned that. Yep, you weren't paying attention.
It's all right. Troy Merritt is also
just mentioned that one.
I know you did. I'm just giving you the ones that I also like. A couple more that I think are pretty decent plays here in this range. I like a Doug Gim at plus 650. He's body form, but still, this is a good course fit for him.
Is it?
It is. Yeah, it is.
I guess I don't know. I think I'm out on Doug. His irons have dropped off. Like, look at his iron play. His iron play in the beginning of the year, like every single week, he's gaining strokes with irons.
Yeah.
And lately, he's just sucked.
What do you do with Adam Hadwin at plus 550? Is he the most frustrating player ever?
No, there's way more frustrating players, but I don't get him right often, actually.
I mean, no, because what he'll do is he'll shoot 65 and then he'll shoot 74 the next day.
He's an accurate player, great putter. So, I mean, he fits the profile here for sure. Family man, Canadian. They can't get into that much trouble, I mean, I think I like the other guys we mentioned a little more at plus 550, but
okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let him hang predictions. By the way, my let him hang prediction last week, I hit 2 of the 3. I told you to take the dogs and take Alabama to cover the spread, and I had Mito Pereira as a top 20. He finished 31st. We almost hit it. I got a similar one tonight. I'll go ahead and rattle that off. I'm doing another top 20 in 2 college football games. I'm taking Mav McNeely, top 20 this time. Mav McNeely, top 20. We already talked about him. I like that. I'm taking Bama at minus 17.5. I think that is a ridiculous number. They played a better team last week, and they were like minus 14.5 or minus 16.5, and they covered. They're playing a worse team. I don't understand. And then University of Florida, who I hate. They're my least favorite team in all of college football. I hate the Gators. but they're minus 38 over Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's terrible.
Georgia just beat Vanderbilt 62-0.
Yeah.
And we used all 3 quarterbacks. We used 7 different running backs. 11 different receivers touched the ball that game. And Georgia is known for, once we have a sizable lead, we just put it on cruise control on offense. We do not step on your throat and finish you. And yet Vanderbilt still gave up 62 points. Florida's defense is not going to, is going to allow points against Vanderbilt, whereas ours did not. But Florida's going to, I think if they keep the pedal down, they cover. So Matt McNeely, top 20, University of Florida minus 38 over Vandy, and Bama minus 17.5. That is a plus 1167. So almost 12-1. Parlay time.
I like that.
On DraftKings.
What is this? What is Beta talking about? Georgia can't score points. That's a joke, right?
Daniel, yeah, he put the laughing emoticon. Surely he's kidding.
Yeah, that's a joke. Okay. All right. All right, here's my let them hang. This is a little more risky. Obviously, I'm gonna pick a winner here.
More hang time.
I'm gonna pick a winner on the golf side, and then I'm gonna pick an NFL bet that I like. And you can get these, and if you win this, it's all gonna happen on Sunday for you. So it's gonna be a great Sunday. All right. So Matthew Wolff, I'm gonna take him to win at 40-1.
Oh, DraftKings parlay, yeah.
Yep. And then I'm going to take the under. So Sunday night's game, the game of the week, Sunday night, is Kansas City and Buffalo. I think that Buffalo has a very good defense, okay? Obviously, Kansas City, everybody thinks scoring, and they do have a great offense. But I think Buffalo has a great defense. I think this game is going to be under 56.5 points. So I'm going to take the under on that game at 56.5 and a win from Matthew Wolff. And that parlay is 77-1. So that's the let him hang. I'm letting him hang. Win for Matthew Wolff, under on KC Buffalo. And there you go.
Wow, an outright with a parlay is definitely qualifies for let him hang. I do think, disclaimer, if you just want to bet Matt Wolff outright, he's 50-1 on points bet, so you can get 10 more points there. But interesting. So you're taking the under. I see that in NFL games, normally when you have these two powerhouse offenses, you do tend to see I feel like the under tends to hit. Everybody gets all amped up, and then the first quarter it's 3-0. And you're like, mother.
Well, yeah.
So I think that I could see that. I could see that going down. I could see that happening. Very good. Very good. There you go. Listen, we'll be back next week for the CJ Cup, also in Las Vegas. Be sure and comment, like, subscribe, 5-star reviews on Apple Podcast. Subscribe to the emails, tourjunkies.com/chalkbomb. What are we even doing if you're not doing that? 2 great free pieces of content. Go check out the Fantasy Golf Sommelier video from last week because it's hysterical and it's only 5 minutes. And listen to the Luke List interview. And win some money this week. Take those tickets to the winning window. Look out for DB's Big Balls betting card. Pat, are you going to give us a not that anyone really cares betting card this week? Because I know.
Yeah, I will this week. Last week I couldn't do it. I had a lot going. My parents were in town. Dad, obviously, here's what happens when my parents are in town. My dad shows up in the Nut Hut.
Yeah.
On Wednesday night and gives some fire picks.
Picks called the Norlander play.
Yeah.
Your dad was money in the Nut Hut.
So that was like my version of giving out the.
Okay, I like it. So there you go. Thanks, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. May your screens be green.